Hi, it's Zobble975 and welcome to Elite Dangerous on the Legacy version on Xbox. And today I've got a fun video for you. So I was over in Seoul, I was going to go to the nav beacon and I was going to do some signal sources when Selfish the One decided to message me saying, oh, well, I might have cargo, and he's right, he might have, but I know he hasn't. I know he's going to wait for me to start typing no cargo free to go and start shooting me, but that's what I expect from Selfish. That's what he'd do. Now, I had looked at his build beforehand, and this is what you would call a long-range gank ship. It's a glass cannon of ship. It's got all the firepower that you would expect, but it hasn't got as much defensive capability as you would expect. He hasn't got any banks on there, for example. So it's a good Bioweave shield, but not like he hasn't got tons of banks. Now, do I have a chance in this fight? The answer is probably most definitely no. I'm in my pirate shieldless dropship, which is one of my worst ships. It's probably one of the worst ship builds I've ever done, but it's kind of one of the fun ones. So what I've got on my ship is a bunch of fixed missiles, 3 AX missile racks, and the very silly enzyme missile, which is not going to do any damage at all, but is funny. It has a corrosive effect, it doesn't do very much damage, and it only really works when it's hitting hull, and even then it doesn't do that much damage. You can't even engineer it, but I unlocked it because it's funny and I really enjoy using it. So I didn't think I had much of a chance in this one. I went for the bold strategy of trying to ram his shields off and then maybe get lucky with breaking his canopy, or something along that lines, because you know, that many missiles hitting you in the front might do that. It's unlikely that I will survive long enough before his plasmax tear me apart, because even though his ship is weaker because it's got, I think he said it's got 38 light year jump range, which is impressive on a ship. This is basically a ship you use to bounce around the bubble looking for targets to kill. You know, I mean, I remember back in the day Nightfall Saul used to run one very similar. You know, the Phantom really does offer that long range ganking ability, ideal for like whipping out to the Guardian sites or somewhere else. To, you know, you can fit a big fuel scoop in there, and he's got a big fuel scoop on this ship. So like I say, it's a battle between two ships that have been deliberately made suboptimally in terms of PvP, raw PvP power. Like you wouldn't, the Meta FDL guys and that, when they build a combat ship, it's very much to the pinnacle of combat ships. Quite often they won't even have interdictors on there and stuff like that, because, you know, whereas I know Selfish has got a large interdictor, he's got a fuel scoop, you know, and he hasn't got any banks. So it's not an optimal combat build, but it is an interesting ship for me to fight against, because I'm in a ship that's very suboptimal with cargo rats, hatch breaker, manifest scanner and all that. Now what I should have done earlier is popped a lot more of my heat sinks, and just change my angles of attack slightly. That might have helped me dodge some fire, because what's coming up now is probably the reason I'm bringing you this video, because this was an awesome 1v1 for one very bizarre reason. My ship just for some reason gets to a point and then just refuses to die, and I've got to say, it really was the freakiest thing. I mean, you wouldn't think at this point that, you know, Selfish has definitely won this fight, like there's no way he hasn't, but amazingly, from Hin on Hin I start flying really well, and also I survive a lot longer than I thought I would.
Yes! I am invincible!
So suddenly it's 0% hull. I start managing to avoid some plasmac fire coming in, and I managed to stay alive a remarkable amount of time. It was quite funny. I could tell Selfish was getting a little bit frustrated because he stopped charging his shields to put more pips to engines, because he was just struggling to deal with the weird movement and stuff. And as you can see, I'm spamming my heat sinks. I should have been doing that a lot sooner, because if I spam my heat sinks, it means that my beam laser keeps constantly firing and I don't have to worry about engine pips a lot. I can put all pips into engines and not worry about weapons you know, just let the 2 pips and the heat sinks will do enough to keep them charging and firing. But yeah, like, this is channeling my inner Mality. If you've never seen the videos that go back that far to the Commander Mality days, Commander Mality was a member of the Dark Marauders who came alive in fights when he had less than 10% hull and pulled out some absolutely ridiculous victories. You know, everyone will remember his 1v3 against Kenny Loggins, when he attacked 3 ESR members, killed Kenny and escaped, or the infamous time that Corvinus attacked him when Mality had 27% hull on a Mamba, and Mality won against a fully fit Corvinus' Mamba, and Corvinus said to me afterwards that everyone knows frags aren't very good against hull. But yeah, I just, it was so odd to survive this long on 0%, just unreal. But GG to Sourfish, it was a fun fight, and yeah, it was a good one. I wasn't quite invincible in this one, but that's all. Thank you very much for watching.